Hello, it's Spence, the evil genius, with your WordPress tip of the day. Hey guys, I've got a great one for you today. Have you ever been building a site for one of your freelance web design clients on WordPress and found that even though they've got the domain name, you're just not quite ready to be open for business? Well, that's when you need the WordPress Ultimate Coming Soon page. And this is a plugin that's really well written. I've been using it myself for some time now. It's written by John Turner, and I like John for a couple reasons. First of all, this plugin works just as it should, and I'm going to show you in a second. But best of all, John's involved in a company called SeedProd, which I definitely think you should check out. They basically are offering some premium versions of this plugin, which allow you to work on both the site when it's new and also when you're doing some maintenance. So again, I love promoting anybody that's doing something wonderful on WordPress, and this is a great idea because it allows you to do everything you need to do, yet have the client's domain and everything ready to go, but yet the public won't see the action behind the scenes. And best of all, Google won't either until such time as you're ready. So it gives you the best of both worlds. You can develop on a live site, no reason to deal with, like we've talked about before, developing on your desktop and uploading it later. Just work with a live site, and yet you've got a really beautiful way and also a way to collect emails. That's one of the differences too between the free version and maybe the premium version here is you can collect emails from a variety of different sources. So in the free version, I'm going to show you how you can do that with something like FeedBurner or some custom HTML. But in the pro version, might be worth checking out. I don't know what he's charging for it, but personal license is just 29 bucks. You can get a developer license for $49. Totally worth it. So check it out and give John a heads up, say you found out about it at 1WDTV. Now, the actual plugin itself works really easily. So we're going to go over to our admin dashboard. And what we do is always we're going to plugins, add new. You've seen this if you've seen any of my videos. My goodness, I keep telling you guys this as if you're living in a vacuum. Have you not seen our 1WDTV quick tips yet? All right, just kidding. We're going to type in Ultimate Coming Soon page, and we're going to search out this plugin. It's also available, as you saw, in the repository. If we go back here, just go to wordpress.org under plugins, and this is what that looks like. Once we're in our dashboard, though, we're going to install it by clicking the Install Now button, which would have been here if I had not already done so. And when we do, we're going to find this actually inside of Settings, Coming Soon. It's just down at the bottom of my screen here. The cool thing is that when it is active, you'll see you've got this great red banner area, I guess is the best way to say it, up in your admin bar, because this will tell you, hey, whoa, slow down. Everybody on the outside world is not seeing your live page. They're seeing the actual coming soon. So that's a good thing to have happening for you so you don't make the mistake of thinking the site is live when it's not. So the basic settings are pretty easy. Under the Settings tab, you can turn it on and off with one checkbox. Now, the way that it works is that you've got a content area. Let's actually go over to the site. We're going to live preview this into a new tab. You've got a content area in the middle here, and then you've got the possibility of also having the full background, which is also responsive, and that's kind of cool. I want to mention that because when I put my resizer on, let's see how it animates. This is my favorite part of all my tutorial videos, is when I click the resizer and we can see how the responsiveness works. It's kind of like Jeopardy. So you see it's working pretty nicely. It's going to work nice on iPhone, iPad, and we can tweak that a bit too. So just that is now proven, going back to the idea that we've got the ability to put in whatever content we want. So we can actually have an image inside of the content area. I just put a headline in. We can go ahead and add all the content we want with the standard WordPress content editor. And then here's that mailing list thing. When I was telling you before, on the standard version, you can use FeedBurner, which, you know, is worthwhile if you're considering just having people subscribe to you for your RSS feed and such. The premium capability to go ahead and add another mailing list thing has to be done via an embed, which is really quite easy if you think about it, because if we're using something like we do, which is lead pages, you could just put in a lead box, right? You could just copy the code and put it right into the spot here, and it's going to show up just fine. So since you can do that with WordPress anyway, it's really no big deal. The pro version is nice, but that's not a feature that's super compelling or anything you need to worry about right now. The FeedBurner address, if you were going to put it in, is here, and then also you can add some custom JavaScript or Google Analytics code. You could also use this for some additional code that you might be using for tracking, like we use Woopra that kind of thing. So everything you need is really in place for the content area. And then of course here we've got the background. So the background, if we were not using an image, we can have a different color. We can put a noise effect generator. I actually chose a background image. Now here's one of the things too. If you go over here, actually over here, what they've given us is the ability to see what their pro stuff might look like. So if you see over here, there's a link that says look for free backgrounds. Open in a new tab. This gives you a quick glimpse of what some of their custom features would be. And if you give them your email, you could go ahead and get a quick free 10 high-res backgrounds like the ones that they show. So it's a nice trade-off for email. That's what I did here, and I went ahead and got that nice image that you're seeing on my demo. So I added that up to our media library. I told it to stretch the image so that it would fill the width of the page regardless of the browser size. I also have the font color. So we could change this. Let's go to white. I can turn off that text effect, which is not very flat. I can choose from a variety of fonts. You can't even see them all here because, there we go, they're off the screen. All the Google fonts, all the standard fonts, you can just go crazy. I don't know what Berkshire Swash is. I could check it out, but let's just pick it. And then for the body, let's do some crazy Chalia 1. I don't know what that is. I can have my custom CSS, and then if I want, I could say, hey, I love you guys. I'm going to let you have your little banner in there as well. Let's see what the saving of this will result in. Interesting, not quite as visible. So that'd be a good example of where, you know, you have to play with it a little bit and check out the preview. Maybe if I put it in black mode and turn the text shadow back on, that'll work. It's fun because you can still use all your CSS skills in the inspector, but not bad. Kind of looks like some kind of beer commercial. The best part about this, though, is that, as I mentioned, it's really useful both when you're setting up your site initially, as well as if you ever have to do any maintenance. So, for example, let's say you are hiring you're being hired for one of the upsells that we talk about all the time in our 1WD coursework, which is updating plugins, doing maintenance, doing a new newsletter, doing something that requires you to sort of modify or change the site CSS. When you're doing that, you don't want people actively on the site. You want to give them a moment to say, hey, something's changing here. Just give us a second. So you can easily just come in, turn on this plugin, give them the appropriate message, like we're updating our core plugins back in 5. Okay, and just save it. And that way you get yourself a little bit of a benefit of the doubt here. People won't be put off like, hey, your site's broken. And in general, this is just something you're going to use again and again. So I'm suggesting you add this to your WordPress freelance toolkit over at 1WDTV like the rest of them. We're going to add it ourselves. By the way, mentioning at 1WDTV resources, we've put together a page for you. If you've been following us now, I think we have over 90 quick tips. 1WD.TV resources is a page you can go to that is pretty much pulling out as much as possible all of these great little resources that we've got. We're also putting together a new index that we'll release shortly that will have everything we've done over the course of the last 13 months in a really easy to consume format. So go check out the resources page for now. And in the meantime, I do want you to check out the ultimate coming soon page as soon as possible, quite frankly. And remember, don't forget to tell John hi from 1WDTV. This is Spence, the evil genius. I'll see you next time.